It was a Sunday in Tasmania, the kind of day where the air feels thin and the sunlight glints off the water of the Tasman Peninsula. Tourists from all over the world had gathered at the Port Arthur Historic Site, a place where Australia's brutal convict past had been preserved in stone and silence. But at 1:10 p.m., that silence was shattered forever. A man with long blonde hair walked into a small, crowded cafe, finished his lunch, and pulled a semi-automatic rifle from a blue sports bag. In just 15 seconds, the world would learn the name Port Arthur, for a reason far more terrifying than its history of chains and gallows. Before we dive deeper into the harrowing events of that day and how they changed a nation forever, please take a quick moment to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Your support helps us keep documenting these pivotal moments in history. Now, let's return to April 28, 1996. The horror didn't actually begin at the historic site. Earlier that morning, 28-year-old Martin Bryant drove to a secluded bed and breakfast called Seascape. The owners, David and Sally Martin, were well known in the community, but Bryant held a dark, twisted grudge against them, believing they had cheated his father out of a property deal years prior. He entered the home and murdered the couple in cold blood, an act of private vengeance that was merely the prelude to a public slaughter. After killing the Martins, Bryant locked the house and drove his yellow Volvo toward the tourist heart of the peninsula, carrying a bag full of high-powered weaponry. When Bryant arrived at the Port Arthur Historic Site, he paid his entry fee like any other visitor. He parked his car near the Broad Arrow Cafe, a popular spot for a quick bite before the afternoon ferry. Inside, the cafe was packed with families and travelers. Bryant sat among them, even striking up a brief, nervous conversation about the lack of Japanese tourists. No one suspected that the quiet man eating his meal on the deck was moments away from committing the deadliest mass shooting in Australian history. At approximately 1:30 p.m., Bryant re-entered the cafe. Without a word, he produced a Colt AR-15 and began firing from the hip. The first shots were so fast and unexpected that many people thought they were hearing firecrackers or a reenactment. But as the screams began and bodies fell, the terrifying reality set in. In less than half a minute, Bryant fired 17 shots, killing 12 people and wounding 10 others. The small, enclosed space became a killing field, with victims having nowhere to run as the gunman blocked the only exit. The carnage didn't stop in the cafe. Bryant moved into the adjacent gift shop, where he continued his methodical execution of anyone he found hiding behind displays or under counters. He then moved outside to the car park, where tour buses were idling. He stalked between the coaches, shooting at drivers and passengers who were scrambling for cover. It was here that some of the most heart-wrenching tragedies occurred, including the cold-blooded murder of a mother and her 2 young daughters who were trying to flee the chaos. Bryant eventually left the site, but his trail of violence continued. He carjacked a gold BMW at the toll booth, killing all 4 occupants, and later stopped at a service station, where he murdered a woman and took her partner hostage. He drove back to the Seascape guest house, the site of his first murders, and hunkered down for an 18-hour standoff with the Special Operations Group. As the sun rose the next morning, Bryant set the building on fire and stumbled out, his clothes ablaze, finally ending the nightmare. The aftermath of Port Arthur was a turning point for Australia. Within 12 days, the government, led by Prime Minister John Howard, announced a sweeping national firearms agreement. It banned semi-automatic and pump-action weapons and initiated a massive gun buyback program that saw over 600,000 firearms destroyed. While the scars on the Tasmanian landscape remain, the legacy of that day is a nation that chose to say never again, transforming a moment of unspeakable grief into a landmark of global policy. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.